Namaskar. A warm welcome to World News in Indian Perspective on All India Radio. This is Anita Anand and with me is Ramya, bringing glimpses of the major developments of the day from across the globe. Over the next half an hour, we shall bring you the latest from the world of politics, economy, sports, entertainment and more. The headlines. Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar says China's disregard of border pact is casting shadow on relations with New Delhi. BIMSTEC Secretary General Tenzing Lekfeld to arrive in Delhi on a 4-day visit on Monday. Japanese Prime Minister Kishida Fumio infected with coronavirus. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi wishes him speedy recovery. Eminent Russian ideologue's daughter killed in a suspected car bomb attack outside Moscow. Indiana governor arrives in Taipei defying pressure from China. Taiwan's defense ministry says 12 Chinese aircraft and 5 ships operated around its border. India's Ramesh Babu Pragnanda to face Norway's world champion Magnus Carlsen in final of FTX Crypto Cup Rapid Chess Tournament in Miami on Sunday night. And in cricket, India to take on Zimbabwe in third and final one-day international in Harare on Monday. India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar has said that China has disregarded the border pacts with New Delhi. He said the Galwan Valley standoff has been casting a shadow as ties between the two nations continue to go through a very difficult phase. Addressing the Indian community at Sao Paulo in Brazil on Sunday, Dr. Jaishankar said it is no secret that India-China relations are going through a very difficult phase, mainly because we have agreements with China going back to the 1990s, which prohibit enmassing of troops in the border areas. He said China has disregarded that. Dr. Jaishankar said that a relationship cannot be one-way street and mutual respect has to be there in order to sustain it. The minister said China is the neighbor. Everybody wants to get along with their neighbor, but on reasonable terms.
Relationships are a two-way street. Lasting relationship cannot be a one-way street. So we need that mutual respect, we need that mutual sensitivity, we need that mutual interest. Right now, it's no secret, we are going through a very difficult phase, and mainly because we have agreements with China going back to the 1990s, which prohibits bringing, massing troops in the border areas. We have disregarded that. What happened in Galwan 2 years ago. So that problem has not been resolved, and that is clearly casting a shadow.
Recalling the success of Operation Ganga during the Ukraine-Russia conflict, the External Affairs Minister said this is the India which is capable of big things. He said as India is celebrating 75 years of independence, the mood in the country is very optimistic. Dr. Jaishankar met the Indian community in Sao Paulo on the first leg of his 3-nation visit to Latin American countries including Argentina and Paraguay. The External Affairs Minister also thanked the Indian community for serving as an effective bridge between Brazil and India. He said India-Brazil ties are defined by good sentiment, great goodwill and increasing cooperation. The Secretary General of the BIMSTEC, Tenzing Lekfeld, will arrive in Delhi on a 4-day official visit on Monday. He is visiting India on the invitation of Saurabh Kumar, Secretary, the Ministry of External Affairs. The leaders of 7-member BIMSTEC or Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation countries had adopted the BIMSTEC Charter during its 5th summit meeting held in Colombo on 30th of March this year. The Charter confirmed the transition of this grouping of states into a full-fledged regional organization with a distinct international personality, said the Ministry of External Affairs in a press release on Saturday. Secretary General Tenzing Lekfeld will hold discussions with senior Indian officials on how to take the BIMSTEC organization and cooperation forward in keeping with the mandate of the BIMSTEC. India leads the security cooperation pillar on the BIMSTEC platform that includes disaster management, marine cooperation and energy security, all of which are vital for the attainment of sustainable development goals targets in the region. Established in 1997, the BIMSTEC comprises of 7 member states including Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Myanmar and Thailand, lying in the littoral and adjacent areas of the Bay of Bengal.
Japanese Prime Minister Kishida Fumio has been infected with the coronavirus. The Cabinet Secretariat said that Kishida developed a slight fever and cough on Saturday night and took a PCR test on Sunday morning. The positive result was confirmed on Sunday afternoon. Kishida is currently recuperating at his official residence. Prime Minister Kishida has been on a summer vacation for the past week and was due to return to work on Monday, but is considering working online. Kishida will cancel his trip to Tunisia for the Tokyo International Conference on African Development later this month. He may attend the meeting online. Meanwhile, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has wished Mr. Kishida for a speedy recovery from COVID-19. University Grants Commission has approved the guidelines for the admission and supernumerary seats for international students in undergraduate and postgraduate programs in higher education institutions in India. The Commission took the decision during its meeting held on the 18th of this month. UGC Chairman Professor M. Jagdish Kumar said, internationalization of higher education is an essential aspect of the National Education Policy 2020 and helps in integrating the international and intercultural dimensions in higher education. UGC has also brought out guidelines for the establishment of Research and Development Cell in universities and colleges. In a series of tweets, Professor Kumar said it will enable attainment of targets for Atmanirbhar Bharat.
A Pakistani intruder was arrested by the Indian Army near the line of control in the Rajori district of Jammu and Kashmir on Sunday. The infiltrator sustained injuries when the soldiers opened fire after observing his suspicious movements in the Ganga area of the Nowshera sector. Rajori Senior Superintendent of Police Muhammad Aslam informed that an intruder was shot at when he was trying to come near the line of control. The intruder has been taken into custody and shifted to a medical facility for treatment. Pakistan's Media Regulatory Authority has banned the broadcasting of live speeches of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf PTI chief Imran Khan for threatening an Islamabad police official and a female magistrate during an address in Islamabad. The Pakistan Electronic Media Regulatory Authority, PEMRA, said that Imran's recorded speech would only be permitted to be aired after an effective delay mechanism to ensure effective monitoring and editorial control. The PEMRA, in its notification, imposed this ban on all satellite channel hours after Imran Khan vowed to file cases against Islamabad's Inspector General, Deputy Inspector General and female magistrate for torturing Shahbaz Gill. The PTI took out the rally in Islamabad in support of the incarcerated leader Shahbaz Gill, who the party said was subjected to alleged gruesome torture in police custody. This is All India Radio giving you the world news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts.
The daughter of an eminent Russian ideologue has been killed in a suspected car bomb attack outside Moscow, Russian investigative authorities said on Sunday. Darya Dugina, daughter of prominent ideologue Alexander Dugin, was killed on Saturday evening after a suspected explosive device blew up the Toyota Land Cruiser she was driving, investigators said. The Russian Foreign Ministry speculated that Ukraine might have been behind the attack. Ukraine denied any involvement. Russia's TASS state news agency quoted Andrei Kasnov, someone who knew Dugina, as saying that the vehicle belonged to her father and that he was probably the intended target. Father and daughter had been attending a festival outside Moscow and Dugin had decided to switch cars at the last minute, Russian government newspaper Rossiyskaya Gazeta reported. The head of Russia's investigative committee ordered the institution's central batch to take over the investigation. Alexander Dugin, Darya's father, has long advocated the unification of Russian-speaking and other territories in a vast new Russian empire. In Russia, at least 14 people died and another 3 were hospitalized after a minibus and a lorry collided in Ulyanovsk region in Sunday, a local law enforcement said. The Ulyanovsk region's Interior Ministry said in a statement that the driver of a heavy goods vehicle drove into oncoming traffic and collided with a minibus.
In Turkey, the death toll in 2 separate road accidents has reached 32, which occurred on Saturday. In the first accident, a passenger bus collided with emergency teams handling an earlier road accident on a highway near the city of Gaziantep. Official sources said at least 16 people were killed and 21 injured in the accident. Hours later, a truck hit a crowd of people 250 kilometers away at the town of Derik in Mardin province, also killing 16 people. Justice Minister Bekir Bozdag has announced an investigation into the crash. The governor of Indiana arrived in Taipei on Sunday. He becomes the latest U.S. official to visit Taiwan and defying pressure from China for such trips not to happen. Taiwan's presidential office said Governor Eric Holcomb will meet President Tsai Ing-wen on Monday morning. Mr. Holcomb tweeted that he would also be visiting South Korea. China, which claims democratically govern Taiwan as its own territory despite the Taipei government's strong objections, has been carrying out war games and drills near Taiwan since U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi made a 2-day visit to Taipei earlier this month. Last week, a second group of U.S. lawmakers visited Taiwan. Meanwhile, Taiwan's defense ministry said 12 Chinese aircraft and 5 Chinese ships were detected operating around Taiwan on Sunday, including 5 aircraft that crossed the Taiwan Strait median line as Beijing continued military activities near the island.
The United Arab Emirates ambassador to Iran, Saif Mohammed Al-Sabi, will resume his duties at the embassy in Tehran in the coming days, the UAE's foreign ministry said on Sunday. The ministry said the decision came in line with UAE's efforts to strengthen relations with Iran and as part of a previous decision to increase diplomatic representation to the rank of ambassador. The first day of a planned strike at Britain's biggest containment port started on Sunday, joining a series of walkouts by transportation workers that have disrupted economic activity across the country. Almost 2,000 workers at the port of Felixstowe, located about 150 kilometers northeast of London, walked off the jobs over pay and rising fears of severe supply chain problems. The port handles around 4 million containers a year from 2,000 ships, almost half of the country's incoming shipping freight. Sharon Graham, General Secretary of Unite, the labour union that called for the strike, alleged that the company prioritized shareholder profits over worker welfare. The port of Felixstowe said in a statement that it had regretted the impact the strikes would have on UK supply chains. It said workers were offered a pay raise worth over 8% on average in the current year.
Over the past 75 years since independence, India's largest public service broadcaster, All India Radio, has been the proverbial storyteller for 1.3 billion citizens across the country. All India Radio is celebrating 75 years of freedom with the series Azad Bharat Ki Baat, Akashwani Ke Saath. It showcases the journey of India's since independence in various walks of life through the storytelling of All India Radio.
Azad Bharat Ki Baat, Akashwani Ke Saath, reliving the journey of India since independence over the last 75 years with All India Radio. Starting 15th August, the series will be broadcast on All India Radio, 100.1 FM Gold Channel, primetime news bulletins and across all its platforms. Tune in to stay updated with All India Radio.
In today's episode, we bring you the story of the presidents of India who served the nation from the 26th of January 1950 to 25th of July 1987.
The President is the constitutional head of the state of India and the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces. The President is referred to as a first citizen of the country. There have been 15 presidents since the post was established when India was declared as a republic with the adoption of the Constitution in 1950. Dr. Rajendra Prasad was the first president of the country who held the post from 26th of January 1950 to the 13th of May 1962.
We have up to now been taking a pledge to achieve freedom and to undergo all sufferings and sacrifices for it. Time has come when we have to take a pledge of another kind. Let no one imagine that the time for work and sacrifice is gone and the time for enjoying the fruits thereof has come. Let us realize that the demand on our enthusiasm and capacity for an unselfish work in the future will be as great as, if not greater than, what it has ever been before. We have therefore to dedicate ourselves once again to the great cause that beckons us. The task is great, the times are propitious.
Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan was a president from the 13th of May 1962 to the 13th of May 1967.
In our constitution it is laid down that we have to build a civilized society which is based on the freedom of the human spirit, economic opportunities for all, and social justice.
Zakir Hussain held the post from the 13th of May 1967 to the 3rd of May 1969.
I pledge my loyalty to my country irrespective of region or language. I pledge myself to work for its strength and progress. The whole of Bharat is my home and the people are my family.
Muhammad Hidayatullah was the acting president from the 20th of July 1969 to the 24th of August 1969. V.V. Giri was elected as the president on the 24th of August 1969 and he continued till the 24th of August 1974.
Do solemnly affirm that I will faithfully execute the office of the President of India and will to the best of my ability preserve, protect and defend the Constitution and the law, and that I will devote myself to the service and well-being of the people of India.
Fakhruddin Ali Ahmad became the president on the 24th of August 1974 and held the post till the 11th of February 1977.
Fakhruddin Ali Ahmad do swear in the name of God that I will faithfully execute the office of President of India.
B.D. Jatti was the acting president from the 11th of February 1977 to the 25th of July 1977. Neelam Sanjeeva Reddy was elected as the president on the 25th of July 1977 and he continued till the 25th of July 1982.
I, Neelam Sanjeeva Reddy, do swear in the name of God that I will faithfully execute the office of President of India.
Gyani Zail Singh served as the president from the 25th of July 1982 to the 25th of July 1987.
I, Zail Singh, do swear in the name of God that I will faithfully execute the office of President of India.
On Monday, we will bring you the story of the presidents who served the nation from 25th of July 1987 onwards. Azad Bharat Ki Baat Akashwani ke saath can be accessed on at AIR News Alerts on Twitter, News on AIR official YouTube channel, News on AIR app, Facebook and Instagram handles. So tune into All India Radio News for Azad Bharat Ki Baat Akashwani ke saath. And in today's Hotspot section, we have a special segment, AIR News Special Memories, Shehnai Maestro Bismillah Khan.
India celebrated its 75 years of independence on August 15th. On this day in 1947, Ustad Bismillah Khan was selected to perform at Delhi's historic Red Fort as the Indian flag unfurled at the hour of India's independence. Ustad Bismillah Khan also played the Shehnai at the first Republic Day celebration in 1950. Ustad Bismillah Khan, whose original name was Kamruddin Khan, was born on 21st March 1916 at Dumrao in Bihar. Brought up in a family of court musicians, Bismillah Khan played the Shehnai, a reeded woodwind instrument, and became a leading Indian classical music artist. He was apprenticed to his uncle Ali Baksh, who played Shehnai at Vishwanath Temple in Varanasi. Khan learned numerous musical forms and ragas, and he improvised patterns that had been considered impossible for the Shehnai. He is credited with elevating Shehnai's status and bringing it to the concert stage. His performance at the All India Music Conference in Kolkata in 1937 gained him public respect, and the Shehnai came to be seen as a classical music instrument. Years of concert and radio performances and
मोदी महाराज न जप के वाली न जप के वाली सुनियो मोदी महाराज न जप के वाली न जप के वाली.
Ustad Bismillah Khan was considered a symbol of religious harmony. He continued to mesmerize the world for more than 50 years with melodious tunes. Edinburgh International Festival. This gained him a following in the West, and he continued to appear in Europe and North America thereafter. He was the first Indian to perform at Lincoln Central Hall. In 2001, Mr. Khan was awarded the Bharat Ratna, India's highest civilian honor. With a report of Moinuddin Khan, this is Abhineet Shukla for
In chess, India's Ramesh Babu Pragnanda will face Norway's world champion Magnus Carlsen in the final of the FTX Crypto Cup Rapid Chess Tournament in Miami tonight. The $210,000 tournament is hinged on a last-round match between the two players who have dominated the competition so far. In the sixth round, Carlsen defeated the Iranian-French teenager Alireza Ferozia in tie-breaks. In cricket, India will take on Zimbabwe in the final one-day international of the three-match series in Harare on Monday. India have gained an unassailable 2-0 lead over Zimbabwe after claiming victories in the first two matches.
And now let's take a look at the major developments around the world as reported in the foreign press. The Financial Times headlines that chipmakers have been caught in the crossfire of rising US-China geopolitical tensions. The Washington Post writes that European drought unearths sunken Nazi warships, Spanish Stonehenge. The Wall Street Journal reports that drought hurt world's largest economies. Los Angeles Times reports that Chinese farmers struggle as scorching drought wilts the crops.
Guardian notes that torrential rains hit parts of England, Italy, France and Belgium, while in China, flooding leaves 18 dead. High Commissioner of India to Bangladesh, Vikram Kumar Doraiswamy, has expressed hope that the traditional spirit of happiness, friendship, peace and harmony will only grow in Bangladesh that remains true to the founding vision and values of its liberation war. He made the remarks at the Janmashtami festival, reports Dhaka Tribune.
A quick look at the headlines once again. Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar says China's disregard of border pacts is casting shadow on relations with New Delhi. BIMSTEC Secretary General Tenzing Lekpal to arrive in Delhi on a 4-day visit on Monday. Japanese Prime Minister Kishida Fumio infected with coronavirus. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi wish him speedy recovery. Eminent Russian ideologue's daughter killed in a suspected car bomb attack outside Moscow. Indiana governor arrives in Taipei defying pressure from China. Taiwan's defense ministry says 12 Chinese aircraft and 5 ships operated around its border. India's Ramesh Babu Pragnanda to face Norway's world champion Magnus Carlsen in final FTX Crypto Cup Rapid Chess Tournament in Miami on Sunday night. And in cricket, India to take on Zimbabwe in third and final one-day international in Harare on Monday. And now before we end, let's listen to Mahatma Gandhi's favorite bhajan Vaishnav Jan by artists from Chad. And with that we end this bulletin. We'll be back at the same time tomorrow with the next edition of World News.